Hi guys, I'm Mike.
And I'm Stephen.
And this is F1 Fanatics. We're back! F1 Fantasy is back. We know that you have missed us in this long summer break. Nah, we got it, Joe. We've been watching IndyCar the whole time. I haven't really missed F1 at all.
We've been fine.
We've been okay. We've been fine. But for the F1 fans, we were trying to feel your pain. If F1 is your sole sport, it's tough. And you might have used this time to deploy a wild card to make money. If you didn't, you missed out.
Wow.
Well, I thought it, but they can also, if they use it at a better time to make money, they can go, back. So I thought I'd, just start the constant in between of people. Just going to get loads of people in the comments going,
Great. Fantastic.
Beautiful.
Interaction.
Absolutely. Before we step into things, though, and properly get back into this F1 Fantasy episode, previewing the Belgian GP with everything you need to know about F1 Fantasy, obviously the game where you get 100 million budget to select 5 drivers, 1 constructor to compete against your friends and the world. And we tell you everything because we're experts, because we are sick at F1 Fantasy. Do you think they still believe us?
I think so.
Okay.
I think so.
Good. Well, this weekend, something monumentous is happening. A part of history is being made. The first Oz events are happening. A pre-race show with FP1 Will. A post-race show with F1 Gamer. And a post-qualifying show. With this too! Oh yeah. What is Oz, Stephen?
Oz is a streaming platform that allows us to interact with you. We'll be hosting a show, as we said, post-qualifying, and we can get you in live. But it's all bit emojis. So, if you just want to say your piece, but don't want to be seen, that's fine. You have your little bit emoji that speaks for you.
And even if you don't want a bit emoji, you can just be a voice. You can be like our conscience going, why did you pick Carlos Sainz for Ferrari? And I'm like, I'm sorry, I thought he would do well.
Yeah.
But no, it's basically a really good streaming platform. Obviously, we do live streams for the people who go onto the channel here. But also, because it's post-qualifying, we can also discuss some of those fantasy picks and how they're doing in qualifying and how we think they're going on. So we can have a fantasy segment to that post-qualifying chat with you guys, which I know obviously a lot of people have wanted. I know some people might have been between FP3 and qualifying and your picks would have been locked in, but we can still see how it's going to go over the course of a weekend and give our thoughts, updated thoughts of what we went through on there. But yeah, it's a really great platform. I think it's really going to take off and it's really exciting to be kind of a part of it. And it's for iOS users, I think, but look out for on Twitter. And when it goes live, obviously it's not live at the moment as we record this video, but fingers crossed it's going to be on the App Store on Apple before it goes out. If not, there will be a link that you can get to make sure that you join us in the studio, and make sure you join Will and F1 Game over the course of the weekend, because we want to make it just like an F1 event, the place on Oz where you guys come along and share your F1 experience and get to, like I said, not just interact in the comments in the live chat. You can actually have your say in your voice. I much compare it to like a radio show where they get people to come in. Apart from, you're not being charged your normal network rates. It's free. And you get to talk to us guys because we're cool with a K.
Nice.
Word.
Mike, just stop, please.
But I'm down with the kids.
No, you're really not.
I am.
Should we get into this week's episode?
Back to the 2K21 season. F1 Fantasy. We're going to talk about it right now. Okay. You know what hasn't changed, though, in the summer break? The screen recording starts now. Oh, what a wonderful moment. Wonderful moment. Right, okay, let's go.
Feast your eyes on this team.
2,000 points, exactly. That's pretty impressive,
I didn't notice that.
That's very impressive. I mean, it's not impressive because the fact that it's behind successful people.
Bang on, 2,000.
Bang on.
Yeah.
2K in the bank.
I feel you should get a prize for that.
Absolutely. So what we have here is we both deployed our wildcard, like we said, to make money over that period. But there will be other opportunities to use that wildcard. You might actually just want to use it for multiple changes getting into your team as you go across a weekend. You might, and you might need to change your whole team rather than the 3 free subs that you get. Now, Verstappen actually hasn't gone up over this period, which is a surprise. But Esteban Ocon has gone up 0.1. Carlos Sainz has. Fernando Alonso looks like he's about to go up 0.1, and Ferrari have been on the rise. But if we look at over the course of this summer break, much like the F1 market, like we said in the news, there hasn't really been much news and much coming out of the F1 world since then, other than Suzuka sadly getting cancelled. But there hasn't actually been as much movement as we thought in the market, because remember, between the first race and the second race, there was a long break, wasn't there? And there was a lot of time to use your wild card.
You're always going to get tons of price changes at the very beginning of the season.
Absolutely. But Charles Leclerc was in the team and he's made 0.1 anything. Like we said, Fernando Alonso there. Carlos Sainz, 0.1. Esteban Ocon, like I said, also made it. But as you can see in these things, there's not actually been much movement in the driver market. And you had to be right on it with Aston Martin, because they were the ones who did it. And also McLaren and Ferrari have also gone up 0.1. But it seems like there's a lot of popularity, a lot of favour towards getting Ferrari in. So that is going to be an interesting one. Will Red Bull be the team to have? Ferrari might actually not be a bad bet. So that moves us into our fantasy predictions coming over the weekend. The big guys, Lewis Hamilton or Max Verstappen. We predicted a Mercedes strong weekend, but in fantasy, it's got to still be Max Verstappen, hasn't it? Because of what you can do with your team with maxing as compared to Lewis.
Yes. Although,
dun, dun, dun.
Lewis is going to be very strong. I'm not sure if we've confirmed or not confirmed Red Bull are or are not taking engine penalties.
And that is going to be a key one for you guys to look out in fantasy. You've got to see if Red Bull take those engine penalties, it could be a difficult weekend for them. Or it could go the other way and swing. And they could make up a lot of positions.
Possibly.
Get overtake points.
Possibly, or they get stuck in the midfield and high chance of crashing outside and going wrong. So if they get those penalties, my top team pick is probably Ferrari. Because we know a penalty that is confirmed as Bottas -5. So Mercedes definitely no. Red Bull, if they get the penalties, I think they're just too much of a risk. Especially as you may lose money on them. And then I think Ferrari are probably your safe bet. Or McLaren. And
especially as you do that. And like you say, Ferrari and McLaren. Now, obviously, a few fantasy players, we know we kind of look at the streaks, and the streaks necessarily haven't fallen into place in really benefiting us at times this year. They have paid off. I know Alpine was being a discussed one for the Constructor, and it's quite a funny one that we've gone in for the Constructor first, because usually we don't. But yeah, Alpine will be on a race streak. They were very strong going into it. Obviously, Esteban Ocon got his maiden win, and Fernando Alonso making Alpine the top constructor last time out. And if they got that race streak, that would be a really good point for them as a team. But as we said in a live stream preview yesterday, just doesn't seem, I don't know, to have a feel. I know obviously I've got 2 Alpine drivers in the team at the moment, but that's purely just on a financial one. It doesn't seem that, I don't know, I don't think Spa is a track that will suit them. we'll have to see practice-wise. And if they are looking really strong in practice, then maybe they are worth a shot at 15.1 million.
I say no.
Steven says no. There you go. No, no. There you go.
Shut down. Unless they look blisteringly quick in practice, no. Even if they come 9th and 10th, it's going to be difficult for them to beat the Ferrari, the McLaren, or the Red Bulls in points.
Now, Verstappen Bottas teams have kind of started to come into play and obviously really stuffed us in Hungary. Cheers for that, Valtteri Bottas. But with that 5-place grid penalty and Valtteri Bottas' tradition of not making up places when he doesn't qualify on the front row of the grid, you got to say with Valtteri there, haven't you, that he's one to avoid?
Yep. Yeah. Well, if you've made the money over the summer break and you can get him in, that penalty is going to hurt. We know Valtteri isn't the best at making his way through the field, but maybe this is new Valtteri. Maybe they've got a game plan. Maybe it won't hurt him too much.
Well, might be if Ferrari are looking good, it might be worth actually bringing in someone like Charles Leclerc again for once.
Yeah.
And going double Ferrari with him and Sainz, because I believe Sainz is on a race streak. Yes, that's where you're going. So Sainz is 100% a definite pick. I think you've got to have Sainz for Spa.
And Turbo.
Because he's just done so well, hasn't he, this year? And even in tracks where Ferrari haven't necessarily done well, he personally has been really positive.
Although I did see a thing on Sainz is he has got an awful record at Spa. I think he's only finished 2 races there, and the one he finished 11th and the other he finished 10th.
Well, you know what the great Michael Schumacher said, Stephen?
What did the great Michael Schumacher say?
He said records are there to be broken. So his poor record is going to be broken into a great record.
Into a great record.
Fernando Alonso. Okay, so we've looked at that top bracket. Max is probably the guy to go, even with a grid penalty. You're probably backing Max to finish in the top 2.
Yeah, I would say Lewis is actually an interesting pick here, because I think it will be an easy win for Lewis if these penalties do come in. So,
and is that correct? Lewis Hamilton does actually technically have more season points than Max Verstappen.
Having Lewis means you can't have a Valtteri or a Max, but you could probably get a Lewis Leclerc team in. Or not even that, you can have a Lewis Sainz team, and it's great. It's great to do. Yeah,
very much so. This middle bracket of the Perez, Leclerc, Ricciardo. Perez, Leclerc. You're probably going to back Leclerc out of that, yeah?
Perez, Leclerc, yeah. Or you just go Sainz as your most expensive guy. You have someone like Sainz, Norris, Gasly, Russell, or Ocon. I don't know. I don't think Leclerc is Checo. I'd say no, because I reckon they'll just get the penalty out the way for Checo for sure. Leclerc, he doesn't go, I need him in my team. Sainz could easily outscore Leclerc.
Yeah, and he's about 3 mil cheaper.
Yeah.
Okay, but Ricciardo, Vettel, Alonso, Sainz, Norris. They're all in a similar sort of bracket. Ricciardo is obviously still a no for me. He's too much of a risk. You don't know what performance you're going to get from Ricciardo. And he's the lowest scoring out of the Ferrari, McLaren drivers, which have been the 3rd and 4th best cars on the grid consistently. Sebastian Vettel is an interesting one. And Fernando Alonso. I think whichever looks stronger out of Alpine and Aston Martin, they might be a useful one, and especially Vettel maybe getting into your team for Zandvoort, because he'll be on a qualifying streak.
Possibly.
But
I would say, rather than going through every single one, it's just Sainz and Norris. Okay, Vettel and Alonso maybe if you want to be out there, but Sainz and Norris, easy picks there. You go a Max, Sainz, Norris, or Lewis, Sainz, Norris.
Okay.
And there's your top three. Bam.
There you go, just moving that around. So Hamilton, Sainz, Norris. Now, Ocon or Gasly? Gasly, I think, traditionally does well on... It's an emotional weekend, obviously, for Pierre Gasly still, because of, obviously, the sad passing of Antoine Hubert and that F2 incident back in 2019. Again...
You can have both. If you've made your money and you're going Ferrari as your constructor, you can have both.
Yeah, and that's probably the way that you go, isn't it? Get your Alpine, get Gasly in, and yeah, Lance Stroll just isn't even in the equation.
Nope. Yeah. But if you haven't got the budget, who would I pick over Gasly and Ocon? Probably Ocon, the man on lots of confidence from his win. I
think traditionally has qualified well at Spa. I'm thinking back to a Force India where he qualified like P4 or P3 or something. I'm pretty sure he did that. It might have been in wet qualifying conditions or something, but I'm convinced Ocon generally tends to run pretty well at Spa. Yeah,
but then Gasly, I'm feeling a strong performance from him.
Well, look, if you're looking at points, even with Esteban Ocon's win, Pierre Gasly massively has outscored him this season.
True.
So realistically, if you're looking for safe bets in fantasy, you've got to have Pierre Gasly in there.
There's those teammate points as well, guaranteed teammate points from Pierre.
Yeah, absolutely. And the things with Ocon and Alonso's been the consistent one. Ocon's been very up and down.
Yeah.
With his form this season. So yeah, I would say Pierre Gasly is the safe bet.
From if you haven't got budget for them and you need to go even cheaper, looking at these guys, Gio's just great for his price. He's probably there. Gio, Russell, Mick are your three there, depending on what budget you have.
Now, I think how George Russell has started to be, I would back George Russell out there. I now think George Russell is starting to get the good qualifying positions.
And holding it in the race.
Yeah. I know he didn't get teammate points over Nicholas Latifi. Again, there. Yuki Tsunoda is too much of a risk, isn't it?
No.
Steer clear of you. There you go. No. And Kimi Raikkonen and Giovinazzi, you just don't know which way that's going to go. Giovinazzi probably comes out on top in qualifying, but Kimi usually tends to come out and race.
Yeah.
So it's shared teammate points.
Yeah, you're probably right. Russell's the safest pick there.
I think so, because I'm just looking and playing around here.
Okay.
Sorry, I was just seeing whether I could do that, and I could. Which looks pretty strong, to be fair.
Yeah, fair enough. 13 does look great.
Right. So yeah, you can get a Hamilton team, and I've made 8.2 million over the course of the season. So I can now get Fernando Alonso, Carlos Sainz with a turbo, Lando Norris, Gasly, and Ferrari, which I think, like we said, Ferrari to be the constructor. But yeah, maybe these feels like an easy Hamilton win, and this might be one to kind of back him. But every time I've backed Hamilton, he tends to have let me down, or he has taken me out like Max Verstappen at Silverstone. Cheers for that one.
Excellent.
But yeah.
I think that's about it on our run through.
So turbo pick, we were just like, bang, Carlos Sainz.
Yeah. Because he's the only guy on a streak. 10 points if he comes in the top 10. 20 points if you turboed it. Bam. On top of whatever points he normally scores.
Perfect. And I believe, just a quick one.
Excellent.
Oh, should I save it?
Maybe not.
No,
you leave it. Yeah, you leave it.
Because it's not going to affect it. Oh, but I probably should have still brought the Alonso change in. Oh, well. Look, it doesn't matter. We'll do it off camera.
You already got Alonso in your money one.
Oh, yeah. Did I?
Yeah.
I think so. My God. Yeah, I do. Well done. Well done, me. Good work, Michael. Right. Sorry, I was just going through because Fergus keeps every week in the comments going, you didn't rate my team name. Renault Way with the check. Which is meant to be run away with the check. You got to laugh at Hayley, Fergus. So I don't know if that got caught up in the sound in the background. But Stephen's not approving. I'm not approving. Really? You took a good, what's that, 1 minute 30 seconds of this podcast with that. I hope you are happy with yourself.
Jeez. Run away with the...
You said it again. It didn't need a second save.
This stuns me.
Stuns how bad it is. How bad it is. But obviously at the end of the season, we will be doing that usual rating the best team name from the season. And bring out some of our favourites across the season. But yeah, hope you've enjoyed the break over fantasy. It's been probably a bit disappointing in the market, the fantasy game. I know this is the time that it kind of tends to fade out, but actually, importantly, if you feel like, definitely still stick with fantasy, because if you feel like you're out of the overall picture, so getting those kind of paddock passes, the Grand Prix tickets, if you feel like you're not going to be able to achieve that feat, the team mini leagues are now live, and I think you can choose to enter one. So pick your favourite team, and if you win that mini league, then you can end up getting some very cool prizes. Obviously, JB last year earned some awesome prizes from the mini leagues in the second half of the season. So look out for those, and look out for the little stints of races where you can earn these really cool prizes. Focus on 3 races rather than the bigger picture if you feel like you're out of it. But if you're not out of it, keep pushing, and maybe you might even win the mini leagues anyway. But make sure you kind of join those on F1. You can get some very cool prizes. Did I mention they get very cool prizes?
Yes, yes, you did.
Was that enough?
Yes.
One more time?
No.
Very cool prizes.
No, I
did it.
No.
I did one more time. I was excited.
No more times.
No more times?
No more.
Well, that's it. No more times. We're done. Remember, if you're an iOS user, we want to see you on Oz at the weekend for our post-qualifying show. We're going to be sending out a link. We're going to be promoting it on Twitter tomorrow. Fingers crossed it's on the App Store. If not, like we say, we'll send out a link on Thursday for the relevant way to get onto the app. And yeah, we'll be really excited, and make sure that you take the time to support FP1 Will on the pre-race show, and also F1 Gamer. We'll leave links to their channels below, and look out for any promotion from them. But yeah, we're all going to be on Oz, and hopefully it's going to be a fantastic event, and it's going to be for the next 3 weekends. So not just Spa, it's going to be for Zandvoort, and it's going to be for Monza as well. But we'll be promoting it every week during this period.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. But if they're new around here or haven't done so already, what can they do, Steve?
They can like, subscribe, and dig that bell.
Dig it! So for now, you F1 fans, keep racing!